Hey y'all, it's Erin from the Underground Railroad. You are tuning in to another great show on the Four-Eyed Radio Network. To listen to more of this show and other great shows, tune into www.foureyedradio.com.
That's right, kids. This is your good pal, Steve-O from Four-Eye Radio Network. I'm here to talk about a great person. Now, think about it. Who are you going to call when your logo looks like shit? You want a kick-ass logo. You want people to see your logo and go, you know what? That's an awesome logo. I wonder who did that logo. Well, I'll tell you who could do your logos for you. Check out Raven Designs. Special care of your work. Special inquiries, check her out. She's got everything. RavenCruise.com is the place to go because you want a kick-ass logo. You want to stand above the rest. I guarantee it. You hear this song in the background, you know these guys have a kick-ass logo. It's a recognizable logo, and I guarantee it if Raven was back in that time period, she probably would have made it for them. And they would have been like, hells yeah, people know who we are because we got Raven Designs behind us. Check out RavenCruise.com if you want a kick-ass logo for business cards. Maybe you want to put it on a car. These guys did. Maybe you want to put it on your building. You want something kick-ass. You want something that people can see and just go, this is awesome. Check out RavenCruise.com. And you know what? Do it. Do it right now. You got nothing else going on for you right now. Get a kick-ass logo. Check out her artwork, RavenCruise.com. Hello, this is Player One Steve-O, and this is an all-new episode of the Arcade Bros. I want to give a handout to our special guest in the studio right now, Andrew Robert Hopkins. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you, Steve?
I'm good. Of course, you can find us at www.arcade-bros.com, part of the Four-Eye Radio Network. Also, if you want to check out more great shows, check out foureyeradio.com. This show, of course, is brought to you by Raven Designs, illustrates and designs that fit your personality. For samples and inquiries, visit ravencruise.com. So we did not have a show last week. A lot of stuff has been coming up. Again, like we said, I'm reformatting two of the shows. I'm still trying to find... I like how I had two shows that didn't have any hosts, and now I have to find hosts for four shows now. So
no way, really?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully if this goes well, you've got one filled.
Yes, we got one filled. So we'll see how everything goes. But so thank you for coming on the show and everything like that. I believe this is episode 76.
Dude, really?
Yeah, we're getting up there. But
what are we going to do for the upcoming 100th episode, which is still like a few weeks away?
Yeah, it's still a few weeks away. I have nothing planned, but of course, we always start off the show. What have you been playing this week?
Oh, dude, I went back a little bit old school with some of the PlayStation Plus game options.
Okay.
I downloaded I got Deus Ex, so I'm playing some Deus Ex, which
nice.
I never touched originally because I heard a little bit of things, saw some kind of cool looking things, and never heard more. So I was like, okay, fine, whatever. For free, I was like, okay, cool, download, start playing.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. I was really surprised with how good the graphics were, the environment was. It's out for all consoles, which is kind of cool. I think you can pick it up now for like 10, maybe $15.
Oh, okay.
So it's an option to go back to if you missed the first time around.
Okay, cool.
Very solid play, very good playthrough. The other one I've been playing is I had to go back to my kart racing. I don't own a Wii, and I don't have Mario Kart 8 yet. So I went a little bit Planet Karting.
How is that?
It's so much fun because it's got that kart racing feel that Mario Kart did. Like you can crash and some of the other stuff, but you can design your car how you want it. You can build engine upgrades.
Oh.
The coolest thing I like though is you can design your own racetrack. It's the same way as in Little Big Planet World.
Okay.
You can lay out your track. You can flatten. You can have hills. You can set whatever you want. You can literally make the cars drive up a mountain. It's really fun.
Oh, that's cool.
Like you can build elevation levels and changes and jumps and things like that. You can design a track however you want.
Oh, cool.
It's really well done that way. it's a little bit complicated at first. You have to get, kind of understanding of where you can put track and where you can't put track, things like that, how to up, down mountains, add water, those sorts of things.
Kind of like when you design a level in most games.
Like Little Big Planet, like when you design a regular level, you have to put everything where it goes, that kind of thing. And with that, but it adds a kart racing element, and then you can test your track and see if you like where it's laid out. If not, you can in the editor before you've actually saved the whole thing.
Very cool.
But make sure you save, because as soon as you have an issue at all, gone. There's no autosave at all. So if you spent 2 hours making this track, you're like, it's perfect. Power outage. Damn it!
You know what? That was the biggest problem I had with the God of War games. Like the God of War games,
I love God of War so much.
Great set of games, everything. But the latest one that came out, like the last one for the PlayStation 3, was like the prequel to everything.
Oh no.
But that one was just they finally added the autosave feature to that one.
Yeah,
I was like,
where was this 3 years ago?
Where was this 3 years ago? Yeah, exactly.
3 games ago.
Especially with God of War 3, I'm like, that's where you should have put it in, but you decided it's no, we're gonna wait until we do the last one,
and then we're gonna add it,
and then we'll add it, and we'll see how it goes. And it was great because that would happen sometimes. You get stuck somewhere, or the game would be at faulty, and then it's like, well, I didn't save, so I have to go back through all this freaking crap now.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, okay, I'm just right here. So it's just it was just a weird function that autosave when that first came out, and people still have not implemented it into their other games yet. So it's just.
So what do you think of the new bundle? Seeing as we're touching on a little bit, I've been looking at the new Lego Hobbit game.
Oh, okay.
That looks very solid, but now it's a bundle option with the
PlayStation 4,
PS3, I think.
Oh,
it's
PS3.
A 500 gig PlayStation 3.
Okay.
And the game for $270, brand new.
That's pretty good.
It's $269.99, so it's $270.
Okay.
You get 500 gig, the new slimmer PlayStation 3s, and Lego Hobbit.
That's actually pretty good because I would have to say the Lego video games is one of my favorite kind of titles now. Just everything I've been playing. Of course, I just talked about. I picked up I got from GameFly the Lego Marvel superhero game, which after playing that, just going this has been the funnest Marvel game I have played in a while.
Oh, that's not fair to Marvel versus Capcom. Come on.
That's the thing, though. It's it just makes me want them to make another Ultimate Alliance game just for play, especially with
that was such a great game for PlayStation 2.
I mean, it's such a fun game. Even the sequel, a lot of people are like, the sequel's just repetitive. But I'm like, you know what? It's basically the format of the X-Men Legend game when that came out.
Oh,
and then they implemented that, and then they just threw all the other Marvel universes together. So it's just
of course. But I mean, I'm not surprised at all by that. They're not trying to. They found something that worked, and they're kind of like Marvel does. Mm-hmm. They're kind of beating that pony until they can, they kill it and slaughter it and pass it on to something else.
Exactly.
But they did it with almost every Marvel-based video game. Besides, I would argue the Marvel vs. Capcoms. Marvel vs. Capcom was one of the only super enjoyable games like that. Whereas I think on the other side, DC has done a much better job branching out. Look at all the Batman series.
Yes.
It's not just a traditional. Okay, Batman goes, fights. It's way deeper. The storytelling's better. The graphics visually are better. And I think right now in the ballpark of Marvel versus DC, in terms of video games, I think DC's winning. I want to play a new Batman game. I want to play new downloadable content. Marvel, I'm like, okay, Marvel Lego's cute. It'll be fun, but don't expect it to be a intense cinematic as well as
it's a goofy, fun game that you can sit there and just have fun with it, and it's a rental. It's not go out and buy this. I mean, unless you can get it for $20. So
it's definitely $20 or less fined. It's more 15 probably.
It's a 15. I mean, because to me, it's I rent it. I'm basically just going to get everything I possibly can with it. Then I'm just going to send it back. It's there's no.
So you're going to use it like that $2 whore?
I would say a $1 whore.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's a fun game.
Touché.
It's a great game. I mean, if you have kids, then get it for the kids. Mm-hmm. But if you're playing it, you're going to basically beat it and then be done with it. You're not going to, so it
does have a ton of replay value.
Yeah, I mean, it does have the replay value of going back there and collecting all the stuff like most Lego games do. But I mean, as soon as you get it, I mean, that was like Lego Batman. As soon as I got everything, got 100% in that game, I was done. I just traded in. So
although Lego Batman, again, I actually like the Lego Batman better than I've looked at some of the other Lego options. Lego Batman was done really well.
Yeah, it was really done really, really well. But the one thing, going back to the DC, the best part, what I want Marvel to do is start hiring comic book writers, because the 2 Batman games were written by Paul Dini, the guy who originally wrote for the animated series. So
and if they were smarter in doing that comic, you get that environment.
Exactly.
Dude, I'm telling you, it is some of the darkest video games I've played in terms of story content and everything else. It's like going back to the original Batman, not the one with Adam West, which is going to be funny. But no, the Tim Burton style Batman, Batman and Batman Returns, which were both amazingly darker movies.
Mm-hmm.
And then it went kitschy because corporations got involved and everything else. They wanted happy toys.
Yeah.
And so that was basically why they wanted more toy options. So they made them super bright and super, pretty and whatever.
Yeah, colorful.
But it was much darker a story, and that's what you have with these new Batman games.
Exactly.
You don't see a lot of those options.
Yeah, and it's the thing, and I've been saying that for a while. I think that my favorite Spider-Man games I played were the ones that were not based off the movies. They were ones that were just let's do a storyline. Like Shattered Dimensions. Fantastic Spider-Man game where you played 4 different Spider-Mans and went through these entire thing, and they got great voice. I mean, they got Neil Patrick Harris, who actually played Spider-Man in the animated series, when it was on Tim TV for a bit. They got all these people who played Spider-Man before, and it worked out great. You got great voice casting, people that brought you to the story, and made you want to keep playing because it's this is a fantastic, because it's from scratch. Something brand new. It does take stuff from the comics, and you're okay, I can relate to this.
And that leads me into I'm pissed off that they're making yet another Amazing Spider-Man 2 game. Really? You haven't learned the first time Spider-Man came out as a movie and you made a game on it and it was crap. Second time you made a game for Spider-Man 2 and it was crap. Third time you made a Spider-Man movie and it was a game and it was still crap.
The only thing that came out of that game, the Spider-Man 2 to 3, that actually helped Spider-Man was the fact that they're you can go from ground to, street level, and they did the webbing and everything that they actually made it this is Spider-Man. It wasn't like the first one where you're just I have no idea what his web is attached to, and I'm high above the city, and this is very awkward. And
well, the awkward camera angles, because it was like Resident Evil.
Yes.
Going back to the Resident Evil where you had that horrible back camera angle and you couldn't adjust it.
Yes.
So you were stuck from the same perspective the entire time. So you go into a dark corner, and instead of being able to turn and look and see what's going on, you were stuck following your character. And I'm that's kind of a cool perspective, but it's horrible for gaming. Because then all of a sudden you're swarmed. There's nothing you can do. You are completely swarmed. What do you do?
And one of the best Spider-Man games, in my opinion, to this day, was the one that when they released it after the Tony Hawk franchise kicked off and Activision was going back and making games. They got a hold of the Spider-Man.
You mean for N64? No, PlayStation?
Well, yeah, the ones that came out for N64 and PlayStation.
Yes.
That one, I was it was narrated by Stan Lee, so you got that. It had great voice acting in it. It was fun. It was kiddie. They joked around. They did all this stuff, but they made it like a comic book game.
We should tie this into the other podcast that we're talking about.
Oh, the long box, yes, yeah.
Which is a totally comic content. Because now we switch from video games to comic. But that's the best part about it, is so many good games are coming out that are done by, like you said, comic editors, people who wrote for animated TV series and things like that.
And I'm that's where your writing comes from. I mean, Kevin Smith says it all the time when they were we don't know how to write these comic book movies. He's hire comic book writers.
I would love to see you talk about some of the great comic book story artists, and I would love to see the next Batman series have do the new story with Damian Wayne and all of that, and the rebirth of Batman. How cool would that be for a Batman game?
Yeah,
is the start from the death of Batman, and then how much fun it would be to play Batman through history. Did you read that? Did you read that Grant Morrison?
Yeah, I love that one.
Batman and Robin, the Batman and Robin, the new one before they rebooted the 52. But it was the lead up to the bringing back Batman.
Yes,
and he got lost in time, and there was Time Watchers tie-in.
Yeah, that would be that.
Could you imagine that gameplay though? You would have one part Batman game, one part Assassin's Creed.
I was just thinking about that. That would actually be a fun game. Who knows? I mean, I know this is Rocksteady says this is the last Batman game they're doing, the Arkham Knight. But I know we're jumping all over the place, but what did you think about Origins?
Solid game. Again, solid, fantastic. It's a solid 8. I can't give it a 10 like it was the first time. First time I saw Arkham City, 10 out of 10. Hands down, it was one of the best visual games at the time. It was the most in-depth. The character development was insane. The cutscenes were amazing. It was like Metal Gear Solid 4 when it came out for PlayStation 3, and the actual gameplay time is 19 hours, but it's a 40-hour game because there's such great cinematic cutscenes that totally tell a story that they got amazing actors for. Same kind of story. This one, it's feeling a little bit tried and true.
Yes.
And so that's the only reason why I'd knock it down a couple stars.
You actually gave it a lot higher rating than I would. I gave it a 7.5. due to the fact that good game, fun to play, a little short. I thought it was a lot shorter than the other ones. And then due to the fact that I don't know what you played it on, but mine had so many glitches.
What'd you play it on?
I played it on the 360.
See, I got a buddy with a PlayStation 3. He let me borrow it just to kind of to spank test and test it out, see if it really could take the bitch. And it was amazing. It played well. I didn't see that glitchiness. There was a couple times you get stuck, but it just didn't feel. You're right. And now that you're saying that, I'm thinking back to some of the times where you get stuck in something or like it feels glitchy. Or
well, my game froze 3 times and then the save file corrupted. So literally, I played the game three times all the way through because where it kept glitching, I actually skipped the mission. It was like the Deadshot mission.
Yeah.
I actually skipped it and then realized, oh, I was 20 minutes away from beating the game. So I basically played Batman Origins 3 times all the way through. So
well, I guess apparently it was forced playability. Is that what they were going for there?
I guess, and I wrote to them going, "You need to fix this. This is really
like
glitchy." I'm
update, patch, whatever you need.
Yeah, you really need to fix this. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the gameplay. I didn't like the fact that they were all like, "It's going to be bigger than Arkham City," but to me, it felt like either smaller or about the same size.
Arkham City was just. I still go back to the original Arkham Asylum.
Oh, I love Arkham Asylum. That's like my 10. Like
it's got to be. It's got to be one of the best games in the last 5, 6, 7 years. I mean, I'm talking going back a ways.
I mean, I haven't had this much fun playing a Batman game since literally the Nintendo Batman game that came out from Sunsoft.
Yes,
that was amazing. That was an amazing game. Not only was it an amazing game, it had such a good soundtrack.
Oh, dude, 8-bit style too.
Oh, it was so
and it was
good.
Such a great 8-bit soundtrack. Dude.
I mean, it was great. It was like, and it was actually pretty dark and gritty for like an NES an NES game.
Dude, but like you look at some of the other like NES games. Like one of my favorite games in my entire like SNES collection is I have the original Doom Red cartridge. It was one of the first M17 games.
Yes,
and it came out for an SNES. And like, really, like you look at most of the other games in there, and they're like, okay, Jurassic Park and some of the other kind of a little bit intense. Then you get Doom, and like. It's a real Doom game.
Yeah, no, it was. And actually, it was funny. The music in that one is like better than all the other ports after it.
Dude, I hated Doom for PC. Doom on SNES, amazing.
Yeah, like even the music in that game, like how they did it for that system. Like even I think when it came out I think the same one came out for Jaguar.
Yeah.
And it was horrible. Like the soundtrack was just like what? Oh no, it didn't even have music.
No, it didn't have music.
It was just silence.
Yeah, it was silence. And you're like, what happened here? I understand trying to up the creepy factor by not having but that whole game was just. It was just really well written. It was a really good, really interesting game. But again, you're talking a dark game on a happy console, so to speak.
Yeah, which is funny.
Because that was like always Genesis's stick.
Genesis usually had kind of more of the kind
adult
of
M13,
13 and older,
M17 type games.
But yeah, But I played a lot of games this week. So yeah, the Marvel Legos is good. I finally beat Infamous, the first one. I pretty much just punished myself. I hate that game.
Infamous?
Infamous.
Or Infamous 2?
Both. I'm playing through the second one now because basically I have nothing to play on my PlayStation 3. I was debating on stuff and because I was like, well, if I get a PlayStation 4, I'm definitely going to pick up Second Son because it's like the only thing that's out.
Did you also what was it? That was Thief.
Yes, Thief. I want to get it, but
it's a PS4. Isn't it like PS3, PS4 only?
Nope. Across all consoles again.
See, I don't understand what they're doing with new consoles. That's a great tie-in to some of the new console stuff. Like Titanfall, amazing game.
Mm-hmm.
Only Xbox, only Microsoft.
Yes.
So you have to either be a PC gamer, 360, or Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that we said it came out early. I think it would have been better if they did, instead of just the controller, they did the entire system in a badass like Titanfall Xbox
Yeah,
One.
They only released that for
they gave it to some guy. They gave it to the developers, and that was it.
Yeah, developers and stuff like that. Which I was kind of worried because after seeing it, you can buy the controller.
Yeah, when the controller's beautiful.
Controller's beautiful, but the system, to be honest with you, system's half done.
Yeah, it's really
weird, and I was kind of taken back from it because when I picked up my Xbox, I was like, I'd rather just get the regular black one. I don't want this half. It looked like they started it and going just ship them. It literally looked like John forgot to finish it. He's like, oh no, they're good. Just send them out. Shit. But yeah, speaking of which, I've been playing some more Titanfall. Very interesting game. Matt and I were doing some battles. I was playing the new. I played it before on 360, but I lost my copy. This is why I don't lend games out to people. So I let somebody borrow it. Never got back.
You get a tracker chip, and if they screw up, you can blow their hand off.
Yeah, something like that. So, but I bought the new one. It looks really good. Like they really did improve on the high definition graphics on that one. I'm almost done with that. Plants vs Zombies: Garden Warfare is just hilarious. It's just a fun game. Rayman Legends, of course, a beautiful game. Which
I didn't touch it. How was it?
Rayman Legends?
Yeah. Was it every Rayman game tied up into one? And
did you ever play Origins?
Yes.
Okay. It's great.
Is it like a little more polished, like a little more turtle wax?
Oh my god, it's beautiful looking, which will get us into the Child of Light because I think UBI Software doing these just art-based kind of games, how they looked at art. Oh, it's just fantastic. It's just a fun game to play, and it's just addicting. And it's funny because like this is a game that I'm playing, going like, I wish there was Rayman competitions because like Matthew was watching me play it one night, and he was just like, "Damn, you're good." I'm like, "No, I'm okay," and everything that. Then I started like playing it, going like, actually, I am really good at this. What is going on? Like, I usually don't brag about games, like what I'm good at. Like, there's certain games that like.
Oh, Steve,
this is my jam.
We've let you. I've seen that dick swinging in the wind before.
Well, that was a joke I made with Titanfall. I was all like, because I was kicking Matt's ass, and like he's like level 31, and I'm just 5 because I haven't played that much, and I just like wailed on him. And then I was like, knowing Matt, he's like, I feel bad for Steve. He's had a pretty bad week, and I'm just going to put the controller down and let him win, a couple rounds. Like that. But no, Matt was like, no, you're fucking good at this game. Like, he's like, but it's funny because, like, I'm great in a Titan, but, like, on the ground, like, I got to get, like, used to that because there's, like, so much shit you can do, like the double jumps, wall running, like, all the different weapons and stuff like that. So it's a fantastic game.
It reminds me, you know what I was playing again the other day and I haven't touched in forever? I was playing Unreal Tournament. Like, it was a downloadable option for PlayStation for cheap, like PS3, PSN Network, or whatever. Okay. And, like, it wasn't a free one, but it was like you could pick it up for pretty cheap. And just Unreal Tournament was like that. Like, you could jump and double jump, and, like, you start to learn to use the weapons better. You can bounce crap off walls, and, like, you had the ricochet shots and stuff like that, which is kind of lost in a lot of new gaming. That was just such a cool concept.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's like, I think it's weird that some games, like, they'll take stuff from other games, but then they don't deliver it well. One of the games that I actually got for free when we were talking about the PlayStation 3 bundles I think 2 years ago for Christmas, I upgraded my PlayStation 3 to the slim one, and I got, like, Ratchet & Clank Collection, so I'm, like, perfect.
Dude, Ratchet & Clank.
Yeah.
One of the best sidekick-based games.
If they released that, like, on launch date of a brand new Ratchet & Clank game for PlayStation 4, I would have bought one.
Oh no! I wouldn't even have to flip a coin. It would have been
over.
Done.
Like, it'd been like done. Okay, I'm like, Xbox, you can wait. Like, this is my jam. Like, but then they gave me for free, and this is how bad this game is. They gave me it for free. I have it for free. I still want my money back. PlayStation All-Star Battle, because you took a great idea from the Smash Bros. Series and you just did not deliver it well. It was like it was. I've heard nothing but problems from it. I've heard it was just not finished. It wasn't clean. It wasn't polished. The action moves didn't make sense half the time. Well, okay, you could beat the crap out of each other, but you won't get any points until you use like a special. Like, there's no, like, life bar, really. There's no, like, dynamic, really. So basically, it's just...
Which is really funny, because Sony has a really good history doing decent fighting games. You look at their fighting game history, is phenomenal. I mean, you look at all of the fighting games they've worked on, developed. You look at, like, Injustice. I know that the people for Injustice worked really heavy with Xbox and PlayStation to make sure that it polished well and played on their consoles amazingly well. And it is still one of the best fighting games.
Oh, I love that game.
I absolutely adore it. Now, who's your favorite?
Oh, do you really need to ask?
Harley?
No. Really? Oh, you don't know me that well, do you? Superman. No, just kidding. Batman.
Of course it's Batman, really? Dude, I love that Batman.
But I do
that
love
Batarang combo. But I'll tell you who's one of the hardest ones to beat in that thing. If you can play deep, is Deathstroke. Because you can sit at the back, and you've got so many... You can just shoot. If they go to jump, you do your spinning blade move, you slash them back, and you start shooting them again. It's such a zoning game like that. Like, there really is that hard. You know who's still, even in that game, is still really fabulous?
Who?
Aquaman.
Do you not like Aquaman?
I'm not an Aquaman fan.
Actually,
I think he is I think I tried playing him in that game. The coolest thing about him is he has a shark, and I hope the shark eats Aquaman, not the other guy.
I actually enjoy Aquaman. I think he's a good character. He's a weird fighting style though. Like he's like to be like, and don't be fair. Like yes, Aquaman has gone through some shit. They've really destroyed that character. But with the new reboot, they've really kind of.
Have you read the new reboot?
Yeah, they've
really.
They've been putting him into his. Well, there's a lot of comics. Like I'm a huge Batman fan. I finally I dove into Green Lantern. I was like, I really enjoy Green Lantern now. I dove into the.
Did you read Lantern Corps? Because Lantern Corps was a great series because you had green, blue, black, white. I mean, you had literally
colors of the rainbow.
Yeah, and that made that whole comic series great.
But Flash, actually, I've gone into the huge, the Flash. Like, I absolutely loving his new run in the new 52s. Like, there was stuff with Barry Allen that I was just kind of like, yeah, okay, I know a couple of things. But then, after reading this, going like, holy shit, man, this guy can do a lot of stuff.
And on that, a lot of stuff things, we're The Last of Us.
Okay, so The Last of Us. So PlayStation, this is what I love. PlayStation, last time PlayStation had a console come out, PlayStation 3, I felt like PlayStation 3 was that kid in the schoolyard or in the class where the college teacher was like, okay, class is done early today. You all can leave. You've got your stuff done unless anybody has any questions. And PlayStation 3 was that kid that rose his hand and goes, I don't understand this. PlayStation 3 was the ones that pretty much was like, oh, the Nintendo Wii? Ooh, it looks like a kid's toy. What a stupid concept. Motion control. And then what, a year later, you designed that same exact thing and didn't work out for you? So PlayStation 4 to me has finally been smart and just has shut their mouth and just go, we're going to do what we want to do. Anybody else wants to do what they want to do, great, and I like that. But now they're doing the trend of Nintendo, which everybody gets on Nintendo for, where they're like, why are you making a game and putting on a new console? So yes, The Last of Us is being re-released, remastered, for the PlayStation 4. Now, Last of Us.
It was interesting play. I mean, it was very good post-apocalyptic, but I don't know. I'm looking at some of the other options, and in a new post-apocalyptic type world setting, kind of brings me into interesting things. Like you look at some of the other stuff that's been out there before, and I'm like, it's a good zombie, but you want to talk about something that's a little more different, that's a little bit out there in a similar, in my way, in a similar idea is like Watch Dogs. It's kind of a little bit of that open world explorer, kind of a little bit post-apocalyptic, evil corporation destroyed the world, and so I'm just kind of like, you're rebooting a game and you're putting a little bit of a polish on it, but you're not really changing the game at all. And it's, why am I going to buy a PS4 for that when I can buy it on a PS3?
Yes, and to be honest with everybody, a lot of people love this game. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad game, it's not a horrible game. The only problem I have is how they try to sell the game. The game was sold as a post-zombie apocalypse. To me, it was like, this is Metal Gear Solid in the normal world. There was way too much sneaking around and all this kind of stuff. And don't get me wrong, the story was great. Animation was good. It made you feel
for, were really good.
It made you feel for these characters. Exactly. But other than that, I'm like, gameplays-wise, to be honest, Uncharted had better gameplay, diving back and forth, kicking people's asses and stuff like that than this did.
Oh, no. Uncharted wasn't... I really liked all of the Uncharted games. Even the new one, Drake's... Is
it for the Vita?
Yeah.
I haven't played that one yet.
I haven't played it. I've just seen some of the some of the reviews and being the nerd that I am who hangs out on a computer, it's like, ooh.
Nerd. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure it will get people to buy the console, maybe, if people have not played Last of Us and they heard about it, but anybody else who's already played it and does not own a PlayStation 4, I don't think people are just going to go running out and buying a PlayStation 4 just for The Last of Us. Now,
it doesn't make sense. You could go back and buy a used PlayStation 3 in a game for less money.
Fuck, you could probably even find a bundle of PlayStation 3 with the game with it.
Exactly.
So it's like... now, you're a huge Borderlands fan, correct?
Oh, dude. Supposedly,
okay.
What did you think of the mock-up? The slap in the face of all the true Borderlands players that said that, oh yeah, the studio's totally making a new prequel to Borderlands 2, and it was all fan art concepts. Amazing. They should make it. I don't care who they are. They should hire those guys and make that game. Because I watched it and I wanted to believe. My heart died a little bit when I found out. Dude, come on, though. I mean, how amazing would that be with a set in space where you change the graphic options?
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, have you watched any of the video play for it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, dude.
I'll have to check that out.
We'll put it up to. I'll find you a link, and you'll have to put it up to.
Yeah, we'll post it on the Facebook page and everything.
If you're a Borderlands guy, that's. It's one of the coolest looking games ever. Even if you're not like, I don't really want it. Yeah. The Borderlands 2 prequel just looks amazing.
Yeah, the pre-sequel, as they're calling it.
The pre-sequel, yeah, it's supposed to be coming to Xbox 360 and PS3 only, which would be stupid because it should be out for 1 and 4. But, like, it's...
Unless they're doing this to just get all the sales they need to get before, because I'm like...
To tap that last little...
That little bit of it, because I'm thinking, like... Because I was talking to Matthew as well, like, I was like, oh, I would just love to see what they're going to do with a Borderlands 3 on, like, the next-gen consoles.
Oh, dude, but imagine a prequel... So, like, they're talking about in the prequel, the series drop or what have you, with the supposed leak and is it real, is it fake, the rise of Handsome, and like they literally explain why the guy becomes the boss, and basically you're a bad guy at the end. Like, you're the bad guy in the game because of you, Borderlands 2 has to happen. Like that's how the people that spoofed this thing did it.
Oh, cool! I like that concept. Yeah,
but it's like literally you're a. Let's see if this is the trailer. Yeah, this is a sick trailer. It's one of those. I'm just not sure if it's legit or not. Like they keep talking about Gearbox is going to do it, but we'll see. But it's here's the link. No, it's one of those. I'm just not sure what's going to happen with it. I hope they do, because if they do, I will buy it in a heartbeat. Launch day, I will be out there. I don't care if it's December and I have to drive to Colorado to buy it. I will buy it. Like it's every Borderlands game. I got on the Borderlands game bandwagon a little bit late, but since then it's like, gimme.
Oh yeah, like
eat that crap up. I went back. I wiped my start. I'm actually back at level 20 on Borderlands 1.
Oh yeah.
Like I started over. I'm like still hanging out. I just left the gulch.
Okay,
like where you first start. I just left that area. Like got shipped out to the new city, but it's
just a fun game,
and it's got so much replay value. Because you can change. Okay, I was a character this time. I want to be a tank.
Yeah.
I want to be the chick. I want to be whatever.
Yes.
And they each play so differently. Like you got the sniper technique. You got more of a stealthy technique, or you got, which the guy I went with. Give me a Gatling gun and recharge energy. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So like I throw the Gatling gun out, it wipes the whelps, and then you just sit there and you get the health recharge.
It's just so freaking. It's just a fun game, especially with the second one where I've actually been playing as the Mechromancer, which I absolutely love. I literally just walk into like the area where everything is, release my robot, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna go find all my like supplies and stuff, and then just watch like he just decimate everybody. It's just a fantastic playthrough. So, but yeah, this is probably old because I forget what I updated. But yeah, there were the Batman during the month of basically 75 years of Batman. They did have the Arkham City and Arkham Asylum for $4.99 on Xbox for live gold subscribers. Of course, right now I think in the month of PlayStation Plus it's free.
Arkham City is free right now. I just downloaded it last night. I'm like, hey, I don't have to break out a game to play one of my favorite games. Okay. Download.
Yeah. So we were trying to get my because Eric from Socially Awkward, he finally just got a 360.
No way.
Yeah.
Like finally just got one.
Well, did
he beat up a little 8-year-old kid on Christmas Day for it?
Maybe. I'm not too sure how he procured that. We didn't really go. I don't want a police report again. But no, he is like the last thing he played pretty much was a Nintendo Wii, just because like he has a kid and all that kind of stuff. So he finally got a 360.
Don't lie. He uses the kid as an excuse. That's his like beard cover. It's really because he's a Wii lover, and there's nothing wrong with that. Eric, you can love that Wii all you want.
But yeah, so he finally got a 360, and then like he's asking us for games and stuff, and I'm trying to I'm like, I don't know what you're into, man. I'm like, all you've been playing on the Wii is like Wii Sports and Mario Kart. Don't know what to recommend.
If he likes Mario Kart, you should make him buy Forza. And just watch him die in Forza. Because he would buy Forza and be like, oh, it's a racing game. It's just like kart racing, right? Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And then get into it, and you're doing 110, and you wreck your car to the side of the wall.
Yeah.
See, now there's a question for you. Which was better? GT, Gran Turismo, or Forza?
Wouldn't know, because I haven't played any of them.
Really?
Yeah, I
even if you hate racing games, get it. You've got GameFly. which is such a great way to rent and try a game. Borrow it, just give it a shot once. It takes you back to that, how much fun it was to be in an arcade and like sit in the machine and drive.
Okay.
It's got a very similar feel to that. You can customize way better. Like GT, the best part about GT was you run enough races that you could go out and buy the crappy Lancer, and then you put like $100,000 into the thing, and like you had a 900 almost 1,000 horsepower car that could beat just about anything on the track, even up to the Lamborghinis. Like it was insane.
Yeah, no, it's not that I don't like racing games. Like, I don't mind playing them. I just never was a big into them. Like I just like a game where I can play and just like, oh, you're gonna pass me? Fuck you, turtle shell. Or like I have like something I can destroy my enemies with. Basically,
you would love Little Big Car. You got to get Little Big Planet Car Racing then.
Yeah,
because like it's like that. You can customize all sorts of stuff. You can add like you can blow up. You can go with like monster truck tires and like run people over. Like it's crazy what you can do with that game.
So I mean, I just can't like wait. That's what I'm just excited for.
So if you really like that, were you a Diddy Kong Racing fan?
Oh, huge Diddy Kong Racing.
Dude, planes,
such a good game.
Hovercrafts.
Oh, it had everything.
I was so happy with that.
Hell, it had the first rendition of Conquer in it.
True.
Before they scrapped that entire project and then gave us the well-renowned Conquer's Bad Fur Day, which I don't, as much as
is that the greatest A game you've ever played?
Oh my god, it's so fun. It's so well written. It's so fun to play. It makes fun of itself. It makes fun of everything.
See
else.
that you thought that was good? Did you ever play Leisure Shoot Larry?
Yeah.
Leisure Shoot Larry. Oh man, that was some like classic stuff there, dude.
But yeah, I think those are some of the spring sales going on. Those are probably changed because I think right now, actually, with Xbox Live Gold, if you haven't tried it out, Daylight, it's free right now to download.
Yeah, that's right. I got to check it out.
Really good. Like, I did not know it was a side scroller.
No,
it's a post-apocalyptic side scroller. It's amazing.
Is it the one where you like? It's not like 8-bit style. It's like
no, it's like fully rendered and everything but it's all just like you're just running along.
Yes, I have played. I played it for PlayStation because I think it was out originally for it was out for both.
Yes,
and a friend of mine downloaded it, and I couldn't remember what it's called. And you have like that weird like you have to turn yourself so it's like a top view type perspective.
No, it's not that. It's
no,
it's just a full.
Do you remember there was a zombie game that came out that was a downloadable? It was like a downloadable game option.
Oh, Dead Nation.
Nah, Dead Nation or Dead... No, I'm thinking of Dead Rising maybe. No. It was
Dead Nation, I know, is only on PlayStation. I got that.
And you can, like... It's like you turn, and, like, it's like a third person... Like, you're, like, looking at your character from above, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, like, you turn sideways, and, like, you have to... You can keep just shooting for as much as you want, but you have to, like, open different sections, and... It's really odd, because you're at a third person perspective, so you're, like, looking down at your character.
I want to say, I think it's... Okay, if it's not Dead Nation, the only zombie game I can think of is it Burn Zombie Burn?
Maybe, but I think it's Dead Nation. I think you're right. I think it's Dead Nation. That's what I was thinking of. I'm sorry.
Those are the only two that I know that are on like we're just on PlayStation. But yeah, no. If you have an Xbox 360 or Gold membership, definitely check out Daylight. It is fun, and it's not like I only stopped playing it just because I got stuck in an area, and I was like, okay, get back to because there's some puzzle figuring out. Like solving and stuff, but like it's not a game that's just like, oh, this is repetitive. Like it's just interesting. Like you just want to keep playing. Like there's not like it does autosave, but it doesn't really break things down, so you just keep playing it. Like I can't put this down. Okay, but
did you ever play Flower for PlayStation?
No, it was funny. I almost picked up that pack that they had where it was what was it, Flow Beats, or I forget, was it Flow Beat? I forget what the game is, but there's Flowers and Journey on it.
Yes.
And I just wanted to play Journey. I was like, I could care less about these.
Dude, play Flower.
Is it?
It's stupid. It's one of those like, I sit down, oh, this will be kind of fun. I'm kind of bored with all the games I want to play. I want something kind of mindless and just kind of have fun. And then you play it and you're like, wait, where did 3 hours go? Like, seriously, I sat down with a friend, and, like, an hour and a half later, he was like, I gotta go to work. I'm like, what? What do you mean? I've only been here, he's like, dude, it's been an hour and a half we've been staring at this game. But, you control, like, this, it's got this simple sort of flower control thing. Like, you have to build a certain amount of pedals, and, like, It's really cool. It's just simple. It's like, so, it's simple. So, Eric would love it.
But he doesn't have a PlayStation 3.
That's a bummer.
So...
Yeah, because you went with the Xbox route, which I understand. There's nothing wrong with that. I was the one that went in the reverse. Bought the PlayStation 3, loved it, bought a bunch of the games, games I really wanted to play, and then was like, all my friends were on Xbox. I had two friends, I had like maybe a half a dozen friends on PS3 at the time.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, fine, I'll go and buy it.
Well, the only problem I have with PlayStation 3, I only played once online, and that was with Uncharted 2, and I thought just trying to get online to play the game was like a fucking wreck. Like compared to Xbox.
Well, see, dude, I started with the Call of Duties. So like Call of Duty was simple. It's like any other Call of Duty game. Like, it's straight up, you sign in, you find your player, you're done. Like some of the games, I know what you mean. Like even Little Big Planet, like trying to get some of the world stuff. But the cool thing was with the way PlayStation did that game was you could play other people's. You could download like other people's worlds.
Yes.
And that was the coolest part, was you could go play their designs. And there were some people who built. There was one guy who basically tried to build Mario. He tried to build a Mario like side scroller equivalent, like the pipes and everything. It was crazy, and he did it. He did an amazing job.
No, don't get me wrong. Like Little Big Planet, like I would love to see what they're going to do with the PlayStation 4 with Little Big Planet if they decide to do another one. But no, I thought it was a great. Well, because you had Planet 1, Planet 2, and karting. I would love to see what they do with Planet 3.
They could do so much more with the graphic intensive. They have so many more processors now. They have so much more power that they could render some of the most amazing stuff.
I mean, these are the games that we're like. Obviously, with anything we're waiting for, especially even with the Xbox One, we're waiting for that Halo game to come out. We're waiting to see what they're going to offer us, because a lot of the games that are being marketed are a lot of third-party games, which isn't a bad thing, like Watch Dogs, the Batman Arkham Knights and stuff like that, but we're not seeing any exclusives right now, which, again, does happen when consoles first come out. I mean, look at the Wii U. The Wii U hasn't even been out for 2 years now, and we finally got the Super Mario 3D World, which is fantastic. We're getting the Mario Kart 8. You're getting all these games finally. So,
oh, dude, I cannot. Can we please talk about that game? Because that is going to be the most beautiful game.
Mario Kart Race 8? Yeah, we could totally do that.
It's going to be the greatest racing game ever, man.
Oh my god, I can't
love Forza. I love GT. I will probably. That's going to be the thing. Like, I don't have any room for another console. I don't want to spend money on another console, but I'm going to see it. So you better invite me over. I swear. I will buy a controller if I had. I don't care. I won't even own a system, but I got to play it. I'm dying. Potential midnight release on that?
I don't know. It's actually going to be released on a Friday. Thursday. It's actually coming out on Friday, which is very peculiar with Nintendo. Nintendo has really changed their release dates. It used to be like...
Nintendo really wants to just screw with people, I think.
Because back in the day, of course, if everybody knows, new release dates were always Tuesdays.
It's always been Tuesday. It's always been that way for DVDs, video games, everything came out Tuesday. Movies... like in the theater, came out Friday.
But even PlayStation started doing that too now, with the release of Second Son actually was released on a Friday. We did the midnight showing on the Thursday night, and it was released Friday, which I'm like, okay, so you're going the route of Nintendo. Nintendo actually was releasing stuff on Sundays.
Yeah, I remember that for a while.
To me, it started making sense with Friday, going like, well, if you just got paid...
Yeah, now you got money.
You got to play.
It's not you have to wait 5 days for your paycheck to hit, or 3 days, or whatever.
So, I mean, it all depends. But yeah, so that's going to be released... That's going to be released on May 30th, which I am looking forward to. I mean, the last game I picked up for my Wii U was the Donkey Kong Tropic Freeze. So
how was it?
Oh, it's fun. I love it.
Is it like original Donkey Kong Country for SNES?
There's a couple of changes, such as like you have like a life meter, and then when you get your like sidekick, I did do like co-op play, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
The one thing I like about what Donkey Kong did with their co-op play is not like, don't get me wrong, I love New Super Mario Brothers and everything like that, but I hated when you run into each other and you bounce off of each other. This one, you don't do that. It'd either be like Donkey Kong's in the forefront or he's behind or whatnot, so your characters don't really, like, you're running on the same path, but if I run past, like, if I'm Diddy or Dixie and I'm running past Donkey, I'm not going to bump into him, I'm not going to fuck up his gameplay, so.
What I really think is fascinating was, one of my favorite games of all time, and I thought it was hilarious because they created a shooter essentially. Is that they actually did Diddy Kong DK64. Dude, right. Donkey Kong for the 64, where they did the shooter, where you got like the coconut gun, or if you was Diddy, you had your peanut pistols,
shooter,
or you had the watermelon cannon.
Yeah, the watermelon cannon.
That was such an amazingly awesome game. It was the first time they used that stupid expansion port where you actually needed more memory. Yeah, you needed
it for that. And then they kept that with when Majora's Mask came out for the Legend of Zelda game, which they have been in talks with the I don't know if it's true, rumors, speculation.
Well, I mean, they came out with Twilight Princess. I'm not surprised if they're going to come out with a new Zelda game.
Oh, no, I know the new Zelda game is going to be coming out for
Wii U.
Wii U, definitely. Well, they're doing that one that's almost like by the people who did... Destiny Warriors.
Yeah. I know.
The code name is like Hyrule Warrior or something like that.
Yeah.
But it looks really fun. I'm just telling Nintendo right now, like, do some co-op with that, or some online gameplay would be amazing with it. But there were rumors has it about Majora's Mask actually being re-released on the 3DS. So
what?
Don't know if that's true. Speculations. Just people wanted to wish some things, but we'll find out. So,
dude. Okay, so. we kind of skipped around a little bit, but
what's
the 8 indie games from PAX?
There was just a bunch of people that it was funny. PAX East had a bunch of stuff. This, again, this happened a while ago, but there was a bunch of games that they were showing, and they just looked like, it's just so weird to know that all these indie. I'm more excited for these indie games than I am excited for actual.
Like EA or Konami or whoever.
So one of the games looks really great is actually called Below.
Blow or Below?
Below. It's a game like Dark Souls. Dark Souls.
Hey,
you won't play the new Dark Souls
game?
Dark Souls and Spelunking. But it's it's a very. It's just very simple artwork. You're like a knight. You go into basically like this mountain cavern, and then you just basically start descending down, and you're just battling creatures while you do it. It's kind of like an RPG aspect, but it's just freaking it's just so cool looking. And then there's another one where it's all done in 8-bit graphics. This is called Hyper Light Drifter.
Oh yeah, I heard about this. One of my friends actually was able to go to PAX East. And she came back and she was telling me about some of it, and is it Hyper Light Drifter? Yeah. It looks like a Japanese anime.
Yeah, it's
really cool.
So I mean, it's just amazing to me that look
at some of the art. If you go online, it's 8-bit style.
Yeah,
it's 8-bit meets anime.
Yeah,
I've never heard of anything like
it. Basically, it kind of reminds me almost like the games Out of This World. And what was it? Flashback.
Yes. Okay.
But in an 8-bit kind of style, but you can see the details in the background, but it's all it's just beautiful looking. It's just these games I'm more excited for than actual like Watchdog and stuff like that, which is weird because it's these games are going to be the ones that are they're going to be super cheap because they're indie. The most you're probably going to pay for these, depending on how they release, is maybe $15, maybe $20, depending on the the company that's releasing. But most of these indie games are probably going to be really super cheap. I mean, that's the Oh Yeah. All the Oh Yeah games are just freaking cheap as hell.
Well, look at look at Plants vs. Zombies. You want to talk about your ultimate look at amazing concept.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Plants vs. Zombie Pirates?
Yeah.
That was phenomenal.
I mean, it's simple concept.
Dude, who thought you take a giant I think it would be hilarious as if you got eaten by one of the plants in a Mario game, you got spit out as a zombie.
Yeah, it's
because it's Plants vs. Zombies and the same type of chomp mouth, the Koopa, the Koopa plants.
Yeah, the piranhas,
the chompers, they're the same option that they should have in the game.
So yeah, it's just I seem to be more excited for for these indie games than I am for actual games coming out for the consoles, which I know, and it's funny because it's I know PlayStation is really big on it when they came out last year for E3, where they're we're doing a bunch of indie games, but it's so weird that they're saying less, but I'm but indie games have been around for a while. So it's you're just tapping into this market. So, I mean, good for everybody that they're being able to do these things. So this was a weird thing. I don't know how I feel about this, but apparently in Japan, you can buy spare parts for your PS4.
So wait. Do I have to worry about my PS4 being stolen and take it to a chop shop and cut up and then I'm gonna buy a new one and my controller's gonna die or something and I'm gonna have to buy a part for my original PlayStation? Is that what we have? We have Japanese chop shops for PlayStation.
No, basically you're gonna come home and your PlayStation 4 is gonna be sitting in the bathtub with ice. It's gonna be sitting there with its side cut open with oh, my processor's gone.
Where are my processors? Oh my gosh, my hard drive's missing.
I guess this is kind of a cool idea because there is times where it's just a part that broke in your gaming console.
Yeah, then you throw out a $400 gaming console and you're F.
Well, it's not even that. It's if you don't have the warranty or the warranty has run out and then you go to send it back to the actual company. Half the time, Microsoft, PlayStation,
they'll just tell you to buy a new console.
They'll either tell you to buy a new console or they'll be oh yeah, we'll take care of that, and then they'll lose it.
Or
they'll give you a refurbished one, and that will break in 2 months anyway. So it's so I don't know if this is a good, bad thing.
It's an open market.
It's just very odd. It just makes me wonder if people are just going to start don't get me wrong, people have modded their systems, but I mean really mod their system where it's you come over and be hey, what is that? It's oh, this is my PlayStation 4. It's but it looks like an NES. They're just decking it out really old.
You pop off all the plastics on it and rebuild it so it looks like an original NES.
Yeah, and it's you open the tray and the disc thing comes out and all that kind of stuff. It's check this out. And he puts the Game Genie on it and it's all what the fuck?
Dude, I bought one of my favorite things I picked up recently was I got an original Virtual Boy cartridge option in Super Game Boy. I got an original Super Game Boy still in the box with the original console.
Nice.
Dude, I picked that up the other day. I'm like, because I've been drooling over the Retro N. Have you played any of those? Have you looked at any of those?
I don't think so.
You don't know anything about the Retro N? Retro N is essentially they took a brilliant idea.
Mm-hmm.
People have all these leftover games, but their systems have gotten broken, used, damaged over the years. But they still have SNES games because they were cartridges.
Yes.
So those things are like almost impossible to kill.
Mm-hmm.
Like seriously, they're worse than like you need at least double tap if not triple on those things.
Yeah.
Like it's bad. They're worse than zombies.
Mm-hmm.
But so the Retro N5 now
Mm-hmm.
plays NES games.
Oh wait, you're talking about those consoles that have like all the slots in it? Oh, okay,
There's
yeah.
a new 5 out. It's Game Boy,
Ooh.
Master System, Famicom,
Fuck.
SNES,
Nice.
NES, Genesis.
Damn.
It's literally 5 different consoles in one.
In one. Yeah, I've been winded. I've been looking into
It's
getting
$100. It's supposed to drop this month. It's literally a $100 console. You can then go back and buy all your SNES games you want, all your Famicom games, all your Genesis stuff you want. It's got a wireless controller option, or it's got ports and you can actually plug in your Genesis
your
or
old
SNES
school
controllers.
That's awesome.
So, like, for all the people that are missing systems that are like, I can't find my power cable anymore. I don't want to buy $20 power cable online.
Yeah.
I'm looking at buying it because I have all these games, but I don't have the system room. So it cleans up that.
Mm-hmm.
The one drawback is sometimes some of the older some games won't. It's not like 100% perfect fit.
Yes.
In terms of the cartridges fit, but like the console came up with one of my friends had like a Retro N3, which is the one before it.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know why they went from 3 to 5, but because it went from 3 consoles to 5 consoles, like
maybe.
Anyway, so they So with that, they were totally into. It said that it was like a stolen game, like it wouldn't play it.
Oh,
even
really?
though, like, he owned the game in the cartridge. It said it was like a stolen cartridge, so it wouldn't play it, or like it was a copied cartridge.
That's
But
funny.
for the most part, it seems like a really great option because it solves the. I have 4 consoles to plug into the TV.
Yes.
How do I plug them all in without getting like 4 multi-taps
Yeah, exactly.
or like multi-switches? You know.
I mean I
can't believe you haven't looked at this thing. It's literally.
I've seen them. I did not remember the name of these things. I don't think I pay attention to. I just see them and go, "Oh, that's cool."
Retro N5.
But
it's called the Retro N5. It's supposed to be out for Amazon's got it, pre-orders out. Was supposed to be out for April.
oh, okay.
So it's still it's not quite up yet, but it's got a HDMI cable, so you can watch. So you get high def graphics, which
cool.
you can't do with your old systems.
Yeah.
You get the AC adapter, variable head sockets, all that kind of stuff, and then it comes with a Bluetooth wireless controller.
Yeah.
Here. So that is what the system looks like.
Actually, that's really slick looking too.
Yeah, and like all the ports are on top, and then in the front is a Game Boy Advance port.
Very nice.
So you can literally just insert your Game Boy game.
That'd be cool, actually.
Yeah, it's called the Retro N5. It should be out soon. It's the first one that's offered HDMI as standard.
Cool.
I'm freaking excited about this.
I am now too. Looks like I'm going to be wasting more money.
It's $100, dude. Dude, you could buy the Hyperkin Retro N3 if you really wanted to go back. Same kind of idea, same sort of system, less game options. It's a little bulkier. It doesn't look as clean, but I do like the fact that this is like $60 on Amazon, which you can get with the SAS system.
Yeah.
You know, with the what is it? The SAS website.
Oh yeah, if you go
link.
Yeah, basically. Speaking of which, Amazon.com. So if you want to go to Amazon, don't go to Amazon. Go to the Sasquatch.net. Click on our Amazon banner and go ahead and you can pick up one of these kick-ass little consoles. You know, and then you don't pay anything extra, and we get a little bit of a kickback from it. So help support the free funny we guys give you. So I know we usually close out the show with release dates of upcoming games, but instead, Andrew actually had an idea with retro gaming aspect.
That's why it kind of was a nice tie-in. I think one thing I really want to talk about, Steve, I'm a huge retro gamer. I still own my SNES.
Mm-hmm.
I made a deal with a guy where I traded out a fighting stick, like a really good high-level fighting stick, for a Sega Genesis with Sega CD attachment, both working, and a PlayStation 2.
Nice.
Which I had sold years ago because I bought the PlayStation 3 and I figured, it'll be backwards compatible, yada yada. And no. That's another thing that bothers me about all the new systems. I have to have 4 systems still because I want to play PlayStation 3 games, I want to play PS4 games, I want to play Xbox One, and I want to play Xbox 360.
Yeah, actually,
and I don't want to pay twice for my Xbox 360 games to buy downloadable content for my Xbox One.
I actually just thought of buying, if I can find a used PlayStation 2 just so I can still play PlayStation 2 games and 1 games.
You can pick them up really cheap.
Yeah.
Bookmans. Totally get them there. I have checked around. They're like $50.
Yeah.
It's worth it for the 50.
Because I still have everything. I still have memory cards. I still have.
Dude, if you want, we'll make a deal. We'll talk after the show. I might hook you up with the PlayStation 2. It's literally doing nothing for me.
Maybe
it was part of the deal. I really wanted the Sega CD, which you can't find.
Oh yeah, they're
super expensive. It's like $100. Like if you want to buy a Sega CD in a decent condition, it's easily $70-$80. Mm-hmm. But I have literally it slides onto the Genesis 2. I have a Gen 2 Genesis, which I really like because it's not quite as fat.
Yeah, the little ones, yeah.
It's a little bit smaller. So those two fit nicely together. But I was thinking it would be fun to cover some of our favorite games from kind of quote-unquote back in the history days.
Okay.
What was like your favorite, what was your first real like old school game? Like what was your first system you had?
First system I had was an Atari. Actually,
2650.
I think it was a 2600.
Yeah, 2652, and then they went up to what, the 70?
Yeah, I think it was like the 76,
78.
Was it 76 or 78? I can't
Something like that.
One of those two. It was the original Atari with the nice, fake wood paneling on it. Very nice. I think the games we had for it was like Donkey Kong, Star Wars, the greatest game ever known to man, E.T.
Dude, there was nothing wrong with it. There was nothing wrong with Atari systems.
Atari
came out with Jaguar, and that was just a horrible system.
But I think that was like my very first like introduction to consoles. The next one, of course, afterwards was actually we got the Mega Drive system first. Actually,
dude, Mega Drive was
my dad picked it up and we tried playing. And then this is the funny part of when I always tell the story. This was back in the day where literally we played a little bit of it, and then we were kind of like we actually rather get a Nintendo. And my dad was like, all right, put everything back in the box, went back to the store, turned it back in, and got a Nintendo system, with the two controllers, the Duck Hunt Mario and stuff. And nowadays you can't do that. You can't just come home, unpack something, play it, and go, I don't want this, and then go back to the store and get back there because there's all these freaking like, was there something wrong with it? Was
no, it's a sucky system.
Yeah, so that was the thing. So technically, we did own a Mega Master System for a little bit.
Master System or Mega Drive?
Mega Drive, that's right.
Because Master System was a great system. I was looking at one. I was drooling over one the other day. They had one at again Bookman's.
Yeah, Bookman's. Yes.
Seriously, there are some amazing steals. If you want to start your retro gaming collection, you have that love. You pick up your Hyperkin Retro 3 from Amazon through the Sasquatch. Mm-hmm. You want to pick that up, and you're like, well, where do I find? I haven't touched my Genesis games in forever. I don't even know if I have them anymore. Yeah. Where do you go? Bookman's and Zia. Zia's a little pricier. Sometimes they have a little better selection. Some of their games can be a little prettier looking. Mm-hmm. But instead of going straight to eBay, like honestly, the prices are comparable. And you don't have to wait. It's you take it home, you slam it in your system, and you get a week warranty.
Yes.
So if it doesn't work, it comes back crappy, whatever. You take it back to them, they'll give you a new one. Same with consoles, they cover those.
Yeah,
it's a great way of doing things. And so for me, like my first love was I remember staying up late with SNES. Like my buddy of mine had an SNES. We played Donkey Kong Country till like 2 in the morning, and like we'd have to play it super quiet because if his parents like woke up, we'd get yelled at and like,
yes,
you guys are all in trouble. You need to go to bed like 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
Or like even I remember that was the first time I fell in love with the whole he had Super Mario All-Star.
Oh yeah.
And like Super Mario All-Stars was amazing. You had all of Super Mario 1, Super Mario, all of it.
Yeah, you had everything right there, including the original Super Mario 2 that was released in Japan. But
horrible. It was not officially a Super Mario game. They just decided that, hey, Americans will buy anything, so we'll slap Super Mario Brothers on it and call it Super Mario Bros. 2.
Oh, no, you mean the Doki Doki Panic one?
Yes.
I'm talking about the Lost Levels, the original one that was released in Japan. Then
that one, okay.
That's when they go.
I thought you were talking about the Doki. I'm like, yeah, that was pretty much on.
Which is funny.
They called it Super Mario Brothers 2, but it really wasn't.
Yeah, no, it was. Well, to our knowledge, we thought it was Super Mario Brothers 2.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it comes back to years later where we found out everything. But it's funny because
you dirty apes.
It was really funny because they were like, we think this game is going to be way too hard for Americans, so let's just give them Doki Doki Panic and just slap a bunch of Mario sprites on it. But then again, getting that game, though, did introduce the Shy Guys into the Mario franchise.
Oh, dude. Who doesn't love good Shy Guy?
So, I mean...
So that was your first love? See, for me, the first system I actually owned outright was a N64. I'd always go to friends' houses. My parents were never really into the okay, we want to give you, sit down and play computer games or whatever for hours. So, like, for me, actually, the first computer games I played were, like, Tanks, the original Tanks for, like, DOS.
Yes.
And, like, Jazz Jackrabbit for DOS. Did you ever play that game? That game was so amazing.
I'm trying to remember if I played that or not.
It's a game called Jazz Jackrabbit. You were this rabbit who ate carrots to get power-ups, but you also had, like, guns. It was a side-scrolling, like, shooter style. But you were this rabbit.
That's crazy.
And it was all about getting your, like, golden carrots back or something. It was crazy. But that, like, so I started really as a PC gamer. I played, like, the original X-Wing TIE Fighter.
You know what? Then yeah, I played on a PC as well. I forget some of the games I played, but yeah, no. The first system I owned was like we owned as a family was the Atari. Then we got a Nintendo system, and then my brothers got Genesis. I went with Super Nintendo, and then we all got N64. Like I just kept getting all consoles when they came out. Then I got a PlayStation, then the Xbox, and so on and so forth. So I was just a gamer, like hands down. Just want to get my hands on everything. But I would say to me, as much as I love the Genesis, I just felt like the Super Nintendo just had such a better aspect of RPGs.
For RPGs, I'd argue though, like children, like some of the others like out there, like Phantasy Star.
Never played them.
Oh my gosh! All right, dude. You're gonna get yourself a Retro End system. I'm telling you right now. When you do, I will bring over my stack of collection games for you to play as much as you want.
Well, if people want to get me gifts for my birthday,
when is your birthday?
It's in July.
Okay, good.
I'll be 30.
Got some time. Hopefully it'll drop by then.
No, but it does look really cool, and I have been wanting to get back into getting like old retro games and stuff like that.
But instead of having to buy 4 systems,
well, I ended up just doing emulators on the Oh Yeah. So.
Oh yeah.
So that's how I just been started doing the gaming, especially since I got an arcade emulator on it. I can just play old school arcade games from my home. So.
Yeah, and I understand that, but I guess I'm one of those purists. I like my collection. I like going in and looking at like.
Oh no, I have my smallest little collection of Super Nintendo games. So it's nothing like huge. I think it's maybe 7 games.
You said Donkey Kong 1 and 2. Is that your ultimate game in your collection for you?
No, the ultimate game in my collection is actually my Chrono Trigger.
Nice. Yeah, my girlfriend, who absolutely loves and adores me and tried to buy me the most expensive gift I'd ever gotten as a birthday present, was an Earthbound big box with the strategy guide and everything in one box.
Yes.
$450. That is the most overpriced game there is, followed very closely by Super Mario RPG, which was an amazing game.
Which I also have in my collection as well.
That's like if you have one like in a box still, like if it still has the box.
No, I just have the game and the instruction booklet. I don't have the box.
That's worth like $70. It's
and
sad.
I even have the player's guide for it as well. So,
dude, seriously, that combination is worth like look them up on like eBay and stuff on some of those things. It's ridiculous. I would blow away.
I still even have my Link to the Past. So.
That's classic.
So, dude, I mean, I
think it's fun, and I think bringing in some of the retro stuff now that people have that option. I think maybe something we throw in at the end of the show was hey,
no, I like
Spotlight Retro Game of the Week.
I like it. I think it's a good idea, and I would like to get other people's opinion. In fact,
please.
I'm going to put this out there. We haven't done it in a while, but this week's next Get Gaming question of the week, we'll say what it was your favorite retro game.
Yeah,
of all time.
It can be any console.
Yeah, any console.
Let's say pre-PS1.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, so we'll go from
PS1 or like N64, Dreamcast.
Okay,
back.
Okay. So that would include, so the PS1 would be included with that. Jaguar, if you guys actually like that system. But yeah, so
that thing was an ugly VCR player. That's what it was.
No, an ugly VCR player was the Panasonic.
Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And also the 3DO. Ugh.
I have a friend who has a 3DO and loves it.
No, like, don't get me wrong. If you can get your hands on a 3DO, like, when it first came out, though, $500.
Yeah, like, are you kidding me?
No, and the games were shit on it. Like, when it first came out.
But
yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Arcade Bros. I want to thank Andrew for coming on, and we'll see how things go out. I'd love to have you back on, either as just coming on as a guest host or even a permanent host. We're still looking for other hosts, so don't feel like, that spot's taken. Like, heck, even if it's a podcast with 4 people on it.
I like a 3-way.
Yeah, a 3-way would be nice. So Andrew, where can they find you if they're looking for you on the interwebs?
You can find me on my Facebook page at Andrew Hopkins. You can also find me on Twitter at Cigar God. I just posted out, so if you follow the tweets for the show, just hashtag the show and the Get Gaming. Those are your two best ways of reaching me. I always check them; they're always on. Send me a message. Let's talk retro gaming anytime you want, man. Now, I even got some pictures up on Facebook. Yes, because I am that guy. I'm a parent to my game collection. I do have pictures up of some of my newest pickups and gifts, including that sweet Sega CD.
Sega CD. Yeah, I have to.
I even got the Frankenstein Dracula game for it.
What?
It's Frankenstein / Dracula.
Yeah,
it's an amazing Sega CD game.
Oh, God. So, actually, if people want to game with you, do you have a gamer tag?
Yes, you can catch me at Death is Cummings. And I'll have to put that out to you because I spell it with in leet speak. So it's D3-4-THISCOMING because I couldn't get it the other way I wanted it to. You can get me on Xbox that way, and then PlayStation is Iggy Boogie.
Okay.
IGGYBOOGY.
Very nice.
And so you can catch me on either of those. I'm all pretty much on PlayStation Network or Xbox pretty regularly. Send me a message from your friend request. Hey, I heard you on Arcade Bros.
Yeah.
I'll be like, dude, people listen to that show?
Yeah. Well, apparently, according to the numbers, we do get like 600-700 listens a week. So,
dude,
it's really
I'm like almost famous.
It's really weird though because it's like I get all these listens, but no one wants to respond to the Get Gaming question. What's going on? So,
dude, I'll push it out to my guys, and we'll make this happen. I will get you answers.
Thank you, though. Yeah, of course, you can find us at arcade_bros. Also, don't forget to check us out online at arcade-bros.com, part of the 4i Radio Network. Of course, my gamer tag is all on there, so it's pretty much the same across every platform except for PlayStation. It's School Days, SKOOLDAZE, and then it's 069 on everything else, but on PlayStation, get rid of the 0 and it's just 69. So,
yeah, and I'll get you all my gamer tag info.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So you can get that up there on the website.
Yeah, so thanks again for hanging out with us. And
thank you for having me so much.
Oh, dude, no problem, man. I just love talking about games. So I guess until next time, kiddos, keep on the gaming.
Flesh and blood, hates and love make up. We just started talking comics.
This has been another fine production of the 4i Radio Network. For more great shows, check out www.4iradio.com.